something, but it's not really gonna.
Well, if I
You guys are just barely on the edges of the screen right now.
You can get my knees the whole video.
Okay, each investigator starts with 2 clues.
A raging clue.
Danny, God.
I know this is going to happen going into October.
It's October 2nd. There was thunder in the air, and the night I went to the deserted mansion atop Tempest Mountain to find the lurking fear.
Were you scared, Cody, too, or?
Mm-hmm.
Can I even... Just give me the strength to hit me good scenario.
Mansions of Madness is a Lovecraftian cooperative horror game for up to 5 players. The game requires a free app which automates a lot of processes and provides a virtual board you can view and interact with as you go along. The game comes with several default scenarios, but several more are available as downloadable content. The scenarios each have unique plots and winning conditions, and players have to avoid dying or going insane in order to continue. If a player's health points are drained to 0, they are wounded, whereas if their sanity points are drained to 0, they go mad. If their health or sanity points are drained a second time, they die. If anyone dies, the game ends a turn later. Beyond the modular board, which changes from game to game, the game also comes with player tokens, detailed monster miniatures, and several decks. Each player chooses a character which comes with unique ability and skill proficiencies, and is given a certain number of starting items, such as weapons, tools, and possibly clue tokens. The app will lay out the rooms, including doors, pathways, various items or points of interest in the room that should be explored, and characters you will interact with. During the first phase, the investigator phase, the players go in order and perform any 2 of a possible 12 actions, moving up to 2 spaces, searching an unknown token in the room on the board, interacting with a point of interest or character on the board, a component action listed on one of their cards in their inventory, trading possessions but not clues with other players, exploring an unrevealed pathway so that it reveals a new area, attacking a monster up close with melee or up to 3 spaces away with a ranged weapon, pushing another player, stealing items, setting fire, extinguishing fire, or moving a barricade. Many actions such as attacking, exploring, or searching and picking up an item will be tracked and facilitated by the app, such as the reveal of a non-playable character who will appear and even have dialogue through the app. Many other actions, such as interacting with a puzzle, will require a skill check. Each player character has varying proficiency with 6 different skills, and when the app requires you to perform a skill check, you would roll a certain number of dice based on the skill proficiency listed for that player. The app may or may not tell you what number of Elder symbols, the success symbol, you have to roll to succeed. You may use clue tokens to turn a magnifying glass symbol into an Elder symbol. After player turns have finished, the game moves to the Mythos phase, where the monsters go in order and move or attack according to instructions given primarily by the app. This is also when fire would spread to an adjacent area not blocked by a wall. Sometimes a random Mythos event will occur that will require 1 or multiple players to pass a skill check. At the end of the Mythos phase, each player must survive a horror check against the highest ranked monster within range, again testing one of their skills. If players need to pause gameplay, the app allows the players to save their progress. As play proceeds, certain story beats may occur which will cause various events to happen. Each scenario will have goals or objectives that become revealed over the course of play, and various endings will result depending on the performance of the players.
Max, you got to do it again.
Well, you're welcome, Adrian.
Effectively. Oh, whew, somebody let one. Oh, you monster.
That's my brother.
Oh, goodness. Furry dog.
Good boy.
Gosh.
Good boy.
Oh, this is really a spooky night, alright.
Mansions of Madness is a very okay game that I would give probably about a 7 out of 10. So here's the thing. The dice that you use that determines pretty much every action in the game. There's like one more blank side to the die than is probably necessary, because you would think that with the die there's 3 blank sides. There are three was like 3 or it was like God, I can't remember. God damn it. There's 3 magnifying glasses, two magnifying glasses, 3 stars, and you're supposed to get stars to, like, say, attack the enemy. Those are what count as hits. Somehow we keep getting like all blanks, or like 4 blanks and 1 magnifying glass, and we just cannot hit the enemies worth a damn. So if they could just like take away 1 blank and replace it with not even a star, just like a magnifying glass, that would improve the game so much. The scenarios are pretty cool and varied, so I'll give it that. Like the one that we just did, Adrian was like in a different time zone than what Cody and I were in, and so he was like doing things in his time zone, and Cody and I were teaming up to accomplish goals in our time zone to kind of like work together. Other than that, man, it's just...
Time's up.
Damn it.
The silence is broken by the muffled shouts and sounds of crashing pots and pans coming from the door on your right. I think it's this door right here.
I'm just in the kitchen making ramen. Go away.
You're in the front doorway, you just got here. You're not doing any such
I'm
thing.
making ramen.
A ruckus can be heard on the other side of this door. Shouting, the crash of pots and pans. And is that hissing?
Wes, let me help you with that ramen, dude.
So
It's
can
not
you,
that
like,
hard. Just boil water. Come on.
Is this one room? I think it's one of these rooms.
As you peer
The
into
door
room,
swings open
you
to-
see a bald-headed man putting a brick of noodles into a pot.
Spawn a hunting horror as indicated. Then suffer 2 horror.
He's gonna suffer 4 horror when I shove my fist up his ass.
Wait, what's your...
Okay, Mansions of Madness. I don't know. It's a good game, but I think there is such a great alternative in Betrayal at House on the Hill. It's a lot simpler. It has a lot more replayability. There's like 50 scenarios compared to just 10, and like half of those are paid DLC anyway. And I wish the players had a little bit more. They could do more actions in a single turn. It feels like you don't get a whole lot done, and then there's a lot of waiting. That's my first complaint. But in general, I should say that the game, I think is pretty fun. I love the app. I think it does a lot of takes care of a lot of the tedium in running a game like this that's fairly complicated and involved, but the app makes it very streamlined and kind of makes you question why it's not just a video game at this point. But it's good. And I do like cooperative horror, and it comes up with a lot of good scenarios. I do think the difficulty is a little unbalanced, and it seems like it ramps up way too much towards the end of the game. We've only played a couple of times, but in both cases we escaped by the skin of our teeth, and I can only imagine 4 and 5 star difficulty campaigns, especially ones that go 5 or 6 hours. Like, that seems almost unbearable. I know you can save the game and resume it later, but I think there's a little bit of like they could probably tame this down a little bit and make it more of a fun pick up and play type of game, or at least have some scenarios like that. Also, as the person who is generally running the app and kind of the game mechanics, I found that there were a lot of tedious components, like keeping track of doors and things like that that could have been eliminated, fake walls and whatnot, and I think a lot of those extra little bells and whistles that are hard to keep track of in the midst of a chaotic situation and fighting all these appearing Cthulhu monsters showing up at your face. Like, I don't want to have to worry about the practical reality of like setting doors and certain dice rolls and things like that.
Time's up.
Was that time?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, roll these. I need to get the Cody device. I've retrieved the Cody device. A device invented specifically for people who know Cody. There. You should have done it.
Well, maybe we'll extra dice.
Alright. Nope. You got 3 blanks and a star. That was a horrible roll.
Mansions of Madness. It is a game that very much seems like it tries to be a house on a haunted hill, to be honest. It's a game that tries to be part mystery and also part combat, but I think it kind of fails in all counts. Now, don't get me wrong, it's an okay game. I think it's a decent game overall. I give it like maybe a 6 out of 10. I like the use of the app. Some of the mystery aspects are cool, but when you set up scenarios, they aren't entirely like really fleshed out. They feel a little bit, you know, the keyword for this game when I was playing it and now is going to be half-cooked. It feels like the design of the board, the monsters, the app, the stories, all feel like they thought of like a cool idea, like they played a House on Haunted Hill and they wanted to make a similar game, but they didn't quite get there. They kind of did like 50%. I think you're bogged down a lot in the game. Like the combat is kind of boring, and the entire game is completely dependent upon dice rolls, and it does feel as though they could have put an extra success on the dice, because it felt like half the game was just you failing at rolling dice. And just being tedious. What it reminded me of is Diablo 4 that just came out. Is that a lot of people complain about that game in a way that everything they do seems to be to take away the fun. It's like, oh, now your horse ride's slower, and now it takes longer to teleport out of the dungeons. And it's like, why did you do that? What is that doing? It's just making the game more tedious and less fun. And that's kind of what I felt in this game. It does feel a little too hard as well. You know, it doesn't feel like you're doing a lot of exploring and fun adventure reading. It feels like you're being bogged down. Oh, I dropped my weapons. Better spend another turn picking those up. Oh, I can't use my clue. Oh, I guess I can't use that up. I failed my combat. Better fight him for a 7th time. It feels like you're just standing in place.
Time's up.
A massive being of indescribable horror breaks through. Spawn, a star spawn, is indicated.
I'm gonna hit him with my 2x4 with me.
So,
Is that this thing? How about silver, red, green?
Sure. Yes.
Oh my god!
You did it.
That was your turn, right? I can't believe figured that out. That's crazy. Come on. You have completed all the necessary actions and chants.
I
Speak
did!
the Eldritch words and complete the counter ritual. Energy surges from the ritual circle, and the rift emits closed when the rift knits closed in front of your eyes, an eerie quiet falls over the mansion.
Let
It
two giant beasts
is
kill
over.
you.
They can't get to us. I think it's over.
We did
Plus, I have dynamite, which is like dynamite is like 10 damage.
God! Man, we squeaked out of that. Okay. So you heard Rick give a 7, and you heard Cody give a 6. I never gave a grade. I would not normally do this. I think I would normally give this game a 7 like Rick did. However, for the sake of averaging it out up a little bit, I'm going to give it an 8. I know that goes against all sorts of ethical rules, blah, 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 blah. Giving it an 8 because I think this is like a top 100 board game geek game, and like the game deserves more than a 6. We had some frustrations with it on our second playthrough. Cody and Rick in particular were like basically stuck in a room fighting monsters the entire game. Didn't get to explore it all. It was very frenetic and frustrating. And there's all the other little things that are annoying about the game, like how badly the stands don't fit the miniatures, and all the unnecessary amount of tracking certain little pieces that shouldn't matter, and the amount of things they could have streamlined. Blah 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 blah. I think still overall, it was a good time. It's a sort of game I do think I'm actually going to pull out to play with other friends. And yeah, we had a really frustrating experience the second time. The first time we weren't so upset. So I'm going to give it an 8 so that our average comes out as a 7. Happy Halloween, everyone. So kill the monster, you get the knife. What's at stake here? You're the real monster.
Lay down, Minnie.
Oh, he'll lay down in a minute.
The investigator has very customer-friendly hours. But yeah, I'll show up at your place at 11 o'clock at night. Sure. We got it, Cody.
We got it.
Good.
Okay. Tile's been revealed. Behind the bar, a large chest catches your eye. Place a search token as indicated. Behind the bar. Ooh, I'm gonna get that bourbon out of there, Cody. You little bitch. It says will negates. Hello. The hunting horror appears and licks my fist. He wishes to raid blankets.
I am afraid of no Cthulhu, Ricky.
Well, that's good.
I'll show him a tentacle monster.
Try for the ritual too.
You just spam this ritual. We're all just standing there. This is monster just like chewing on our heads.
Can't wait to get
Roll it like hard, like. Got it! See, I'm telling you, there's something about the hard roll. Rick. Okay. That's.
I'm insane!
Where you do that? I'm not taking that damn item, Cody. I'm up here. Rick's in the hallway we came in from.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well.
He pulls a revolver from the drawer and pushes it into your hands. Gained a 38 revolver. Told you he wasn't done talking.
I don't think you need that, Ricky.
You give it to the little girl. I don't trust you. Here, come here, little child. I got one for you.
Alright. So, here we go. Mythos.
Got my dagger. Got my spell. I'm a dangerous little girl.
You got your gun.